En garde.
What if you could gaze into the eyes of the greatest minds who ever lived? Not the familiar paintings or the cold marble statues, but the real person. For centuries, we've only known them through the lens of art, but now, that's all about to change. Using the power of advanced AI, we have brought legends like William Shakespeare, Miguel de Cervantes, and many more to life, revealing what they might have actually looked like. Prepare to meet the icons of history, face to face. You won't believe your eyes. Known as the Mrs. Astor, Caroline Astor was the undisputed queen of New York's Gilded Age society. As the ultimate social arbiter, her word decided who was acceptable among the city's elite. Her famous ballroom, with space for only 400 guests, gave rise to the exclusive list known as the 400. Through her lavish annual ball, she fiercely defended the old money establishment against the newly rich, defining an entire era. Grand Duke Mikhail Alexandrovich, Tsar Nicholas II's younger brother, was once the heir to Russia's throne. He scandalized the court by marrying a commoner, leading to his exile. When the Tsar abdicated in his favor, Mikhail Alexandrovich was technically emperor for a single day. However, he deferred the throne, effectively ending the Romanov dynasty. He was later arrested and became one of the first Romanovs executed by the Bolsheviks. Empress Elisabeth of Austria, known as Sisi, was the free-spirited wife of Emperor Franz Joseph I. Celebrated for her beauty, she struggled against the rigid Habsburg court, finding escape in poetry, travel, and horse riding. Her life was marked by deep tragedy after her only son Rudolf committed suicide, which plunged her into a state of constant mourning. Sisi's assassination in Geneva cemented her legacy as a romantic and tragic icon. Known as the Bewitched, Charles II was the last Habsburg ruler of Spain. A tragic product of generations of inbreeding, he suffered from severe physical and mental disabilities that left him incapable of ruling. His vast, decaying empire was governed by others. His entire reign was overshadowed by his failure to produce an heir. When Charles died without a successor, his death plunged Europe into the devastating War of the Spanish Succession, a conflict that would reshape the continent. A princess of Modena from the powerful House of Este, Isabella became the Duchess of Parma as the second wife of Duke Ranuccio II Farnese. Before this marriage, she was a candidate to marry King Louis XIV of France, but the match was blocked by Cardinal Mazarin due to shifting political alliances. Her tenure as Duchess was brief but significant, as she gave birth to the heir, Odoardo Farnese, whose own daughter would become the influential Queen of Spain. Tragically, Isabella died from complications just 9 days after childbirth. Marie of Anjou was Queen of France during the turbulent final decades of the 100 Years' War. As the wife of King Charles VII, her reign witnessed the incredible rise of Joan of Arc, who helped secure her husband's crown. A dignified and pious figure, she raised a large family, including the future King Louis I, while enduring her husband's famous affair. Though possessing little direct political power, Marie of Anjou served as an important symbol of stability for France. Elected King of Spain after a revolution, the Italian prince Amadeo of Savoy faced a chaotic and brief reign. From the start, he was met with fierce opposition from all sides: Republicans, rival monarchists, and even an assassination attempt. After just 2 years of constant political turmoil, Amadeo felt he could not unite the deeply divided nation. Famously declaring the Spanish people ungovernable, he abdicated the throne and returned to his native Italy. Daughter of Peter the Great, Empress Elisabeth seized the Russian throne in a bloodless coup. Her reign was a dramatic shift from past austerity, ushering in a dazzling age for the arts and sciences known as the Russian Enlightenment. An extravagant patron, she commissioned the spectacular Winter Palace and founded Moscow State University. Her armies also saw great success in the 7 Years' War. Despite her famously lavish lifestyle, Elisabeth proved to be a capable and immensely popular ruler. As an Austrian archduchess, Marie Antoinette became the last queen of France before the French Revolution. Initially popular, her reputation was soon ruined by rumors of extravagant spending and court scandals. The infamous, though misattributed, phrase, "let them eat cake," came to symbolize her perceived indifference to the suffering of her people. Imprisoned during the Revolution, she was ultimately executed by guillotine, facing her trial and death with a surprising and quiet dignity. Niece of Marie Antoinette, Maria Amalia married Louis Philippe, who later became France's citizen king, making her the last queen of the French. Known for her quiet dignity, she was a discreet, domestic figure who focused on raising her large family and managing their fortunes. Her life was framed by political turmoil. The Revolution of 1848 forced her and her husband to flee, meaning she spent her final years as she had begun her life, in exile. Sophia of Hanover, a German princess and granddaughter of England's King James I, became a pivotal figure in British history. The Act of Settlement named her the Protestant heir to the throne, bypassing dozens of closer Catholic relatives. A respected patron of philosophy and a friend of Gottfried Leibniz, Sophia was poised to rule. However, in a dramatic twist of fate, she died just 2 months before Queen Anne. The crown passed directly to her son, who became King George I, establishing the Hanoverian dynasty. Upon the death of her brother, the warrior king Charles XII, Ulrika Eleonora claimed the Swedish throne. Her brief reign became a pivotal turning point for the nation. In order to have her husband, Frederick, crowned as king, she agreed to a historic deal. She signed a new constitution that ended absolute monarchy. By willingly abdicating in his favor, she single-handedly launched Sweden's Age of Liberty, a 50-year era of parliamentary rule, before retiring into the role of a respected queen consort. As the wife of King George III, Charlotte was Great Britain's queen consort for 57 years. A dedicated patron of the arts, she supported composers like Mozart, and as a keen botanist, she helped expand the famous Kew Gardens. Devoted to her 15 children, her later life was marked by sorrow as she cared for her husband through his devastating mental illness. Though she held little direct political power, Queen Charlotte served as a steadfast symbol of domestic virtue and stability during a turbulent era. Hailed as the father of the modern novel, Miguel de Cervantes lived a life of incredible adventure. A soldier for Spain, he was seriously wounded in battle and later spent 5 years as a captive of pirates in Algiers. These experiences profoundly shaped his literary work, culminating in his masterpiece, Don Quixote. This tale of a deluded nobleman and his pragmatic squire is celebrated for its rich humor and psychological depth, securing Cervantes' legacy as one of the most important figures in world literature. As First Lady during the American Civil War, Mary Todd Lincoln is one of history's most controversial and tragic figures. An intelligent and fierce supporter of her husband, Abraham Lincoln, her life was defined by unimaginable loss. She buried 3 of her 4 sons and witnessed her husband's assassination right at her side. Publicly criticized and privately consumed by a profound, debilitating grief, her final years were marked by deep depression. A sad end for a woman who endured so much. Widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language, William Shakespeare was a playwright, poet, and actor from Stratford-upon-Avon. Known as the Bard of Avon, his vast body of work includes timeless tragedies like Hamlet and Macbeth, comedies, and histories that explore the depths of the human condition. As a successful figure at London's Globe Theatre, his profound influence on literature and language is immeasurable, and his works remain the most performed in the world.
If you liked the video, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.